Hey guys, welcome back, and I think we need to catch up on the ins and outs of what is going on with Disney and just how bad things have really gotten for them in the last few months here. I mean, it's been a bad year, don't get me wrong, but I think the last few months have kind of encapsulated and shown everything wrong with Disney in its current form and iteration that we're witnessing before our very eyes here. Now, what seems like it could be completely unrelated to Disney is that this Hollywood PR firm confirms that Rotten Tomatoes scores are in fact manipulated by paid actors. Well, not literally actors, but film critics, people that are paid, $50 or more for their review. That gets put into Rotten Tomatoes to fluff the numbers, fluff the critic scores for a movie, to try to avoid bad press, to try to help it do better in theaters. And this apparently has been a practice going on Rotten Tomatoes for a long time now. It's completely disingenuous. It's counter to what people believe when you're looking at honest reviews by critics. Now, let's be fair about this. Most of us looking at critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes, when it vastly differs from audience scores, we're kind of clued in that there's something fishy going on, right? It's not just that everyone's a hater, everyone's a troll, everyone's a phobe or whatever. There's obviously some motive for the critics to give a movie a better score, whether it's access to the movie, to premieres, to those goodie bags they give out, to red carpet events, whatever it is. So Rotten Tomatoes has an interesting connection to Disney. That's part of why I wanted to talk about this. If you actually look through their recent past, their hirings, people that in their executive suites, people that are the movers and shakers for Rotten Tomatoes, it's quite interesting. Now, unknown to a lot of people, Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Fandango, the massive ticket-selling website, the one that you actually have to buy a ticket from to leave a verified score on Rotten Tomatoes. So Upper Echelon Gaming did a wonderful breakdown of the connection between Disney and Fandango and, by extension, Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just going to play a tiny snippet. You go back and watch his video. I'll link it down below. He does great content, but just bear with me for 1 second.
But I can tell you that the president of Fandango, the parent company of Rotten Tomatoes, who's been president since 2012, previously held 3 separate executive positions at Disney. Again, I can't point...
Now, this is not a one-off. He goes into other people that work as executives for Fandango, for Rotten Tomatoes, who are actually connected to Disney in their previous employment. We'll kind of catch up on these right now.
Shit you not. He ran the Disney Movie Rewards loyalty program.
Mike Ridgewell, who's
and before that, he was vice president of consumer marketing for Disney as well. Oh, I'm not finished, by the way. Meet Jody Vogelar, chief marketing officer at Fandango, right now. Yes, he used to work for Disney. Dana Benson, Dana, senior vice president of communications at Fandango.
And this goes on and on. He actually goes on through this for a few minutes. I don't want to steal too much content from him. Go watch his video. I'll link it down below. But basically, everybody in an influential position at Fandango, which owns Rotten Tomatoes, used to work for Disney on some capacity. Again, definitely seems like there's a ulterior motive for a lot of these films that Disney's putting out that are not doing well in theaters, that the audiences hate, but that get these artificially inflated critic scores. And I'm not saying that the critic scores are all paid for, but it definitely seems like there's ulterior motives to give these movies better scores than the audiences would agree with. And then we have this recent financial report that came out. Well, not a financial report. It's more than that. It's a report basically behind the scenes from about 25 different people that they interviewed. I think Vulture was originally the one that put out the article on this. I could be wrong, but there's a lot of different sites. CNBC, MSNBC, they've all hopped on here.
Thank you very much, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Well, that's going to be funny to have to edit out. I got a new subscriber while I'm recording this. All right, anyways. Screw it, we're just going to leave that in there. So what we have here is actually Clownfish TV did a hour and 10 minute long video. I watched most of this fantastic video breaking down exactly what is going on in this article with this interview with these 25 different people. Go watch their video. I'll link it down below too. It's very long, but they do a great job going through it. Long and the short of it, Bob Iger, who is the CEO before Bob Chapek and CEO after, he's the current guy that you remember. Basically, during the strikes, he got a $23 million extension or however much money it was, and basically told the actors and screenwriters they just needed to deal with it and suck it up. Now, again, I'm not on the side of the actors. I think screenwriters these days are terrible. I think most people could be replaced by AI, and the content wouldn't be any worse. But Bob Iger has had his hands in the middle of everything for over a decade now. Actually, it seems like, according to these people in this interview, Bob Chapek never really had a chance. He was brought on to be the replacement for Bob Iger. He was supposed to be in charge. Bob Iger was supposed to be bringing him up to actually replace him, to basically lead his own, to have his own vision put forward, to kind of take the company in the direction that he saw best. And Bob Iger never really left. Basically did his best to undermine Bob Chapek the entire time. And so this article is incredibly long. Again, I don't want to steal anybody else's content. This is from Bounding into Comics here. They do a pretty good breakdown of this entire thing. But I would say go read this when you have time, and then watch Clownfish TV's video on it. They do a fantastic job breaking down this entire mess. But boy, oh boy, this is a disaster. Once you get down to the end of it, basically, when you look at Disney in its current state, everybody from the top down needs to be fired. In fact, their stock as of tonight, $80.57, which is a low for, I think it's 9 years. It's at least a 5-year low based on this chart, down $28.69 from 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, the economy was doing fantastic. So obviously, stock market is what it is. Things are going to be, we're in the middle of a recession right now, okay? Let's be fair about it. But this is completely unacceptable. Disney is a joke. They've lost $1 billion off their last 10 theatrical releases. Nobody's watching their programs. Disney Plus is a nightmare for them. They even had this deal with the cable company out of California. Which one was that? Where they lost ESPN. Disney took it away from them and basically said, oh, well, all of you cable customers just pay $5 a month and you can watch ESPN through Disney Plus, I'm actually about to cancel Disney Plus. My wife has had it for the last couple of years, and my kids don't even watch it anymore, so I'm going to be pulling the plug on that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. I think Disney is almost on its way out. I think we're actually seeing the end of this company, and not that I'm happy about Disney itself dying. I would love to see Disney be reborn to what it actually was intended to be from the get-go, to see Walt Disney's vision brought back, but I think all these blood-sucking vultures that run Disney need to be fired, cast aside, and replaced with people who actually know what they're doing and are trying to make a profit. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.